Hi, my name is Sharice Raven. I go online by the name of Denkai, which is why the video is under the name of Denkai, surprisingly. Right, this is a quick video, not an update, so if you're expecting an update, that is coming soon. This is a quick video, kind of like a tutorial to kind of teach you about railroading. We'll go over what it is, how you do it, and why it's awesome, or why I think it's awesome. You might not think it's awesome, but we'll see what you think. Right, I'll crack on. Railroading is a way of doing your cross stitch so that it all lays nice and neatly and flat, and you don't have little twists in your cross stitch. The way it's done, well, what I'll do is I'll tilt the camera down and you can see I've got a little workstation thing set up here. So we'll tilt it down and then you can see, looking at my hands, you just have to visualize my face, but you'll be seeing what I'm doing. Okay, I'll tilt you down. Right, here we go. Now I managed to drop you several times. I have here set up some Ada. This is like, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. This is like, well, I'm gonna look. Let's have a look. How many stitches per inch? This is like 4 or 6 count Ada. So I've made it so hopefully you'll be able to see very clearly exactly what I'm doing. Right, what we'll do is we will thread the needle and we'll start off and I'll go from there. When I railroad, I generally use Thread Heaven. This is Thread Heaven. Top tip, if you shove a magnet on the back of your Thread Heaven, you can stick it to any kind of frame, or if you wanted to put like another magnet on the other side, you could have it as, I don't know, a needle minder. Well, not so much a needle minder, it's too thick, but you could have it as just kind of stuck on your fabric if you wanted. I have a lamp stand next to me where I stick it on. So right, Thread Heaven is there. Let's get some floss going on here. I'm going to start with the loop method, so I'll show you that as well in case you want to know more about that. So I'm just going to cut that there. I'm going to pull out one of the threads. Boom, there we go. Right, I use Thread Heaven, so I take the floss, just hold it over the top of the Thread Heaven box like that, put my thumb down and then just pull. And if you can see, the floss is running through the Thread Heaven. It's not wax, it's some kind of chemical putty compound. It basically coats the floss, protects it. It doesn't, I know it says that it's waxy, it doesn't really have that feel. You can't really tell that it's on your thread, except for the fact that it polarizes it. So essentially it makes your threads kind of repel each other slightly, ever so slightly, as you're stitching, but once you lay them flat, they'll lay next to each other. It's very clever. So once it's been put through the Thread Heaven, I just kind of pinch it with my nail and run it through my nail like that. Just removes the excess. You can barely feel anything, but if you do that, it will kind of magnetize it, as I said, to repel. So what we're going to do is find the little loop that's the middle. I'm going to get a needle. I'm going to choose the biggest needle I have because, as I said, this is like 11 count, so I can show you that. Thread my needle. This is where it gets embarrassing and I can't thread it first time. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pull my needle through Right, I'm going to put the needle near the end here where I have the 2 open ends, and I'm going to have the hoop, or the little loop, whatever you want to call it, that is the middle of this big long thread at the other end. Okay, so to do the loop method, which is what we're going to start with, this will be the front, so we'll go through the front of the fabric, blah 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 blah, have a little bit left over, and then we go to make our stitch, and you go up from the back to the front. As I said, this is the front side. Then with the needle you go through that loop like that and just pull. So essentially, if I can get this close to the camera, I'm a second, I've lost my needle. I'll get this close to the camera so you can see. You have essentially made a little loop like that. This is the front. So what we do now is once you've made this little loop, I generally just give it a little tug so the little knot thing is near one end, and then you go down in the same spot through there, just like that. There we go. Start. That's the back, that's the front, and you've got one half of your cross stitch. Really easy, really easy. I find that's a good way to start, so that's how I've started. Okay, railroading. Right, I always do my stitch bottom right to top left. So I'm going to do the cross. In fact, I've done that the wrong way around. I do it the other way around. Never mind. It doesn't really matter. However you want to cross is however you want to cross. To railroad, you can do this on the bottom stitch or the top stitch or both. Oh, that is not good. Never mind, we'll leave that. It's because the fabric's too thick for the frame hoop. As I said, you can railroad the bottom and the top, or just do the top. I generally just do the top. It doesn't take any time, really, just a couple of seconds. I'm just in the habit of doing the top one. So when you do your stitch, you've got the bottom stitch there. I've come up to do the top stitch that goes across. As I prepare to move down to finish the stitch off, I'm just gonna, as you can see, the thread heaven, excuse me, has just slightly repelled those, what you can see, slightly repelled that floss apart. I'm just gonna look around in the middle and go down. And then when I go down, I find that my stitches are nice and neat and they lay together nicely. So if I were to do another one just to kind of demonstrate, I'm going to come up, and as you can see, they're repelled slightly, so I would just kind of nick in the middle of there, if you can see that there. Just put, as I go down, put my needle through the middle of the threads, go down and railroaded. So essentially railroading, meaning to kind of like control or push something, we're essentially pushing the threads to lie flat. If I just top it off, there we go. I come up, find the middle, there we are, just like that, little nick through it, and then pull it down to the bottom again. Yeah, and they lie nice and neat. So why should you do this? Why is it good? I will explain. In fact, to demonstrate this, I'm going to drop down to a higher thread count so you'll be able to see better. Hopefully you understand how to do it. So yeah, we'll change from this fabric to this really, well, a lot higher count. I don't know how many it is. I think it's 25. So this little 25 linen. And you can tell that it's linen because it's quite kind of bumpy on it. There we go. Right, I need to drop down to a smaller needle. What did I do with the rest of that thread? What did I do with the rest of that thread? Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Right, so loop method, and then I'll show you why it's so awesome. Then that. Thread heaven it, through the thread heaven, through your, there we go, through your fingers, through your nail, just to kind of get the excess off. So we're going to start off, we find a hole, and we will just do a top stitch so you can see. We can start off with the loop method. So just pull that to one side. Go down through the same hole that you. There we go. So we've got the bottom half of the stitch. We're going to find where we need to go up, which is there. We're going to come up, then to railroad, you go back down, but just go through the centre of the floss. There we go. Go down, and you will find your stitches lay beautifully. Let's try it again. Hopefully you can see this. If not, this is not good. There we go. So we're coming up, we're going down. As I said, I normally just railroad the top stitch. It's up to you. If you want to do both, then do both. Okay, and we're going to come up. There we go. And we're going to make the top stitch, but we're going to railroad. So I can't even see the floss from here. There we go. Yeah, if you can't see it, or like if it seems like it's stuck together, just give it a little tap like that, and then you go through the centre of it, and then there we go, and down. So that is railroading, and they lie beautifully. Why do you need it? I'll tell you why you need it. Because as you can see, my thread, I've done 2 stitches and it's slightly twisted. If you're doing lots of stitches, your thread might become very, very twisted, like that. Oh no, lots of twists, blah, blah, blah. If you're doing it like that and you make a stitch, that twist has a likelihood to kind of come out and to show. So instead of being all nice and kind of flat and a bit fluffy, I'll show you, it won't be so much. Okay, hang on a second, let me get it so it's twisted so I can just demonstrate a bit. There we go, a bit twisted. Then when I go in and do it, of course it lies perfectly. Why would it not? Because I'm on video. Okay. Generally, you'll know what I mean. You'll know what I mean. Don't listen to me just disproving my rule. It basically, it makes it lie straight. So if you're doing lots of stitches and it's all twisted up like that, and normally you have to kind of drop it and then shake it out to kind of untwist it, well I do. Because if you start doing stitches like this, the twist's going to come through. It's not going to sit perfectly beautifully, which is what we want really. It'll kind of get all twisted up, and you'll be able to see that it won't be all nice and fluffy and beautifully. It'll be all twisted and stringy. Yeah. So we railroad, and that completely gets rid of the, or it knots at the back. It completely gets rid of the twist. You won't be able to see it because it's forced to lie flat, which is obviously what railroading is. It forces it to lie nice and straight. There we go, through the middle and down. It lies beautifully. That is railroading. I hope that made sense. I hope you now know, jiggle out my thing. In fact, let me just pull you up so you can see me. Hiya! Yeah, so that is railroading. I hope that made sense. I hope you feel comfortable doing it. Yeah, I love it. I literally just do the top stitch to railroad to make it lie flat. I like it. Some people don't. Give it a go. But yeah, there we go. Quick joke before I go, obviously, because I always like to end with a joke. What did the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe, you idiot! Get it? Because he's yeah, purple. There we go. That is railroading. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Railroading is let me think of what I want to say. Cut the the coffin mic, please. Thread this needle. Okay, this is a lot smaller, but I want a different one. No, I'll stick with that. This is where I prove it. I really can't thread a needle very well at all. I'm a licker. That sounds dirty, sorry. No, I do lick my needle. Oh, I'm gonna use a thing. I'm sorry. I don't normally. Not that it's bad if you do, but... Oh my god, I can't even thread that. Seriously? Get on. Do it. There we go. Oh, this is embarrassing now. Here we go. Can I thread the needle threader? No. Oh my god, I broke the needle threader. Seriously? No, screw it. We're going for a bigger needle. You shouldn't really... Oh, that's the wrong kind of needle. I was prepared, honestly. I swear I was prepared. I had everything lined up. We'll go for this one. Oh. Oh, Mike, you're going to have to cut it and I'll come back with a threaded needle. Okay. By the magic of the video editing, I have a threaded needle.